Good afternoon to all the dignitaries, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to present my work here. This is a part of my research, assessment of water quality for irrigation purpose of Najafgarh drain using irrigation water quality index. Next slide. The agenda of my research is the introduction to Najafgarh drain and water quality assessment, followed by identification of the major pollutants, then the calculation of irrigation water quality index and the way forward. Next slide. Coming to the introduction part, the study examines 32 km stretch of Najafgarh drain, which is generally used for irrigation purpose. The drain has majorly form of three sectors: domestic, industrial and agriculture, that contributes to the wastewater load in the Najafgarh drain. It is also a natural habitat for the small mammals and migratory birds. It is also considered as a rainwater impounded here. Here it comes from Gurgaon to Delhi with a load of 150 mld before the drain enters to NCT Delhi, and in Delhi it has a capacity to take 2000 mld water. Due to the limited sewage system, large quantities of untreated sewage from the secondary drains enter to the Najafgarh drain. Next slide. Now the key issue encountered here is under the condition of severe water stretch, which is at present and future coming, there is a need of alternate source such as wastewater. So this water can be used and is being used for irrigation purpose. But then the quality of irrigation water directly influences the quality of soil and the crop grown. Here you can there is a bund here. So when the flow is very high, the water is passed to the agricultural area. In April 2019, the quality of the water is very bad, so the farmers urge for the compensation of the loss that their farmland suffered. As per the groundwater report, high fluoride concentration is also observed in this area. Along with that, heavy siltation is there and large quality of sewage that is subjected to the drain without treatment. Next. This is my study area, southwest region of Delhi, consisting of population of 22 lakh 92,000 people with an area of 420 square kilometers, which consists of 32 kilometer stretch of this Najafgarh drain. Next slide. These are the existing trees which are already existing there. Eucalyptus is there, Vilayati kikar is there, neem is there. Next please. And a few migratory birds which can be seen in the area of Najafgarh lake. Next please. This is the map of my study area. These are the sampling locations. I have collected 32 samples for 2-year duration, both pre and post monsoon season. Next. This is the sampling done. Next. This is the methodology adopted. The samples of collection has been done. 32 water samples I have collected. They are subjected to physico-chemical analysis. 20 parameters have been studied. Then the distribution of the data is studied through descriptive statistics, followed by identification of interrelation between the parameters, that is through correlation. Then we have major impacting parameters are identified through principal component analysis. Then the major impacting sampling sites are identified through hierarchy cluster analysis. Index application is there using IWQI and then geospatial representation for the same. Next slide. Now the results are depicted that high BOD and COD values have been identified in this Najafgarh drain, which is directly used for irrigation purpose. High electrical conductivity is identified. Total dissolved solid and salinity is also found to be high. High alkalinity and hardness with the high concentration of sodium and chloride. Next slide. Also for the correlation that the different chemical parameters are showing dependency over one another. So salinity and conductivity are showing good correlation, BOD and COD, hardness with conductivity and salinity, chloride with alkalinity and hardness, sulfate with TDS for the pre-monsoon and likewise for the post-monsoon season. Next slide. Now these are the results of principal component analysis which has been executed. 4 major components have been identified for explaining the data set. 94.62% in the pre-monsoon and 91.45% for the post-monsoon season. Next please. This is the hierarchy cluster analysis. We can, as per the sites, site first and 7 forming different clusters, and then the rest are forming 2 different clusters. Next please. Now after this, the irrigation water quality index is calculated following this methodology. Next. These are the categories for which the data set has been studied. If the water quality index falls under 0 to 40 value, it falls under severe restriction. Then 40 to 45 is high restriction. 55 to 70 is moderate restriction. 70 to 85 is low restriction, and 85 to 100 is no restriction. Next, coming to the result of IWQI, we can see that apart from first 3 sampling sites, all fall under no or severe restriction categories, whereas this water without monitoring is directly used for irrigation purpose. Now you can see that what kind of irrigation water people here are using and what impact it is creating on the soil and the crops produced. Next slide. So this is the interpolation map. You can see that after the midpoint, like this whole red area, if you can see, this is under very high, severe or no category. Next slide please. Now coming to the conclusion part, the contamination level, as we can see through the map, the contamination level is increasing with the increasing distance. There is a need of regular monitoring strategies and effective measurements of the resources. There is unauthorized use of this Najafgarh water for irrigation purposes, which needs to be monitored by the government agencies. No national policy framework on wastewater drainage is present or applicable in this. Next please. Now coming to the way forward, as we are in Delhi, we have many small water bodies and they are subjected to rejuvenation. So my proposal is, if we can do the rejuvenation of this Najafgarh drain as well, in order, and also support multiple recreational activities that can be done for this area. Landscape embankments can be done. There can be installation of the meshes at different regions in order to stop the sewage flowing through it, and it also helps in raising the groundwater levels. Next please. These are my references. Thank you so much.